We have been joined by a fifth member of the table, so we will cheers them. Welcome to the stage, Christian.
You guys are having a great conversation. I don't want to get in the way. Besides, I'm getting ready for Who Are These Broadcasters at 2 p.m. Eastern, but I feel like I need to chime in with something really important, Husey. Echo Pineapple, you are a tremendous and undistinguished cunt.
Got you, Echo.
That was nice.
Yeah.
He's proud of it too. Like he knows. I'm like, yeah, and big fucking deal.
Well, to be fair, Eccles' ancestor did used to own mine.
About Who Are These Broadcasters? Would you go on there with Blatt?
Hit me up on Instagram, and I'll direct you to my contact person. I'll direct you to my agent.
Tom, were you
who does exist by the way?
Were you a fan of the TV show Mad Men?
Who are we asking?
Christian. Sorry, Tom.
Never seen it. Sorry.
Oh. Well, Christian's wife wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And also, she's a hot fucking chick with big tits, and I don't mean that in the vulgar way. He'll take that out of context.
Will the doxing ever stop, Husey?
No. Also, did you know that...
What's wrong with big tits? Nothing.
I like a fart box. You know?
No, different strokes for different folks.
You're listening. Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATP with Christian, Eric, and Carlson. sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? Oh, I see you right there. There's my buddy EZ. This is the show that puts the hack in Hackamania. EZ, I'd love to ask you how you're doing, but we've got such a big show. We've got so much to talk about, and any comment you make will apparently upset our chat. So we'll just move on to, first of all, I got to give everybody a programming note, you two included, EZ. Carl has scheduled an emergency broadcast coming up a little later on this channel, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific. You'll hear about Aaron Imholt responding to the material played at Hackamania over the weekend. And also, we'll all jump in and out and talk about our time at Hackamania. EZ, you were missed. I met the people, and a few people wanted to pull me aside and let me know, I'm actually a fan of Who Are These Broadcasters.
That's a secret. A lot of people like to keep that to themselves. So those valiant souls who stepped out of that comfort zone to admit that's a lot. That's like admitting you have a problem.
It's like a secret handshake. It's like a friend of Bill W. is what you say when you're in AA. And in the chat already with the super chats, thanks for the 279 associate producer, Ralph. I hope this show is part of Hackamania 3. From your words to Patrick Melton's ears, I've already decided WATB should be at Hackamania 3. Promo code BEARS. Start buying your tickets now for Hackamania 3. There's no day, there's no venue, there's no lineup. No one's invited us to be on it, but start with the pre-sale right now and use promo code BEARS. Oh, that son of a bitch producer, Ralph. Well, so he said, I hope this show is part of Hackamania 3. And then he follows up during the In Memoriam segment. Oh, that's the most terrible thing I've ever heard.
Hey, it's a step-by-step approach. We're totally starting to climb that ladder. If we can make it in the In Memoriam segment. I mean, that's a start. You got to start somewhere.
Still on the show. By the way, the one pun, Hackamania 3, almost as much cum as an Imholt vacation. Let's not get carried away. By the way, we have a celebrity in the chat, Craig from Very Good Show, who people know from the Blind Mike Project. Great to see you there, Craig. Thank you for being here. The man, the myth, the legend. It's fun watching the B team. You know what? I'll take that. I don't want to be a C or D team, but I'll certainly be the B team on this channel.
Right on.
Isn't that fair, Easy? I think so. All right. So I just want to take a moment now. There is going to be the big Hackamania recap coming up a little later. I have a few photos that I've taken that I want to share my buddy EZ because you don't give a shit about Hackamania. You didn't.
No, I do. I do because I like that it was full.
Yeah, it was.
It was a nice sized venue. It was full. You were there. You saw Dame Taft. I know I'll see that pic.
Well, I forgot to get his permission as to whether or not I can show his picture.
No problem.
Dame Taft, let me know if I can share your picture. But you did. Do you remember what you messaged me back after I sent it to you?
Yeah, he looks like a serial killer.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Dame Taft might become very unpopular in this show, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But I've got a few images. There's our buddy Carl. He lost on the creep off, as he so often does, and he had to do his entire show in Lederhosen. So obviously that was a lot of fun. Here I am with the great Adam Bush, who I had met previously, but it was great to see him. He was up there having some fun. And I mean, this is a real thrill. I've met him before, but I get to spend time with Tukey. And this is one of the best moments of the show because you're looking at it for our audio audience. I've got a very goofy look on my face because I can't stop laughing. The visual is that I'm standing there with, who does that look like?
It looks like Chad.
Yes, that's Cardiff Electric, who printed out a mask that has Chad's face on it. And I believe I'm not spoiling anything when I say I think it took 17 tries to get it quite right. And he posted pictures and Chad said, "It doesn't even look like me." And it's
Said that?
literally
He commented on it?
It's
Oh,
literally
no.
his face. Yeah, Brian Johnson took a picture with him. So that was obviously I got to meet Cardiff backstage without the gimmick. So I know what his face looks like, and I just wish I could unsee it. You know, Cardiff has a photo of me, Cardiff, and Adam Bush where he doesn't have the gimmick on. It's a good thing he didn't send it to me because I would have sold it to Stuttering John.
Okay.
So Cardiff was very smart and very careful, but I met Cardiff's wife. I met Tuki's wife. It was a great time. Easy. You'll have to come next year because I'm already saying we're a part of Hackmania 3.
Okay. Well, I'll just commit right now. I mean, it's
if we say it often enough, it happens.
Yeah. I will. I am telling you right now that I will be there.
Okay. And of course, here I am with your girl, the great Lucy Tightbox. And you're going to really like this. She performed she was the co-host of the final episode of Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve. And she dressed for the occasion. And she said, let me pose for Eric Zane.
Oh my God.
So she had me take this picture. And if there was ever a time for your dick to start working, it would be
so
right now.
beautiful. If I had a penis that operated like 99.5% of the population, then the feelings would be even more exaggerated. Right now, I just look at her and go, she's so lovely. But that's it. You know, I don't lust after her. That doesn't compute in my brain. It's just I just know she's lovely.
No, you are not able to stir her chili like you would have been able to back in the day. Question from Hamilton Berger. What was up with the cameo on Hughesy's show? I did play that during the pregame, the pre-show. Hughes has a running bit of showing up on shows and calling someone on the panel a cunt and then jumping off. So I have done it a few times on Hughesy's show. I did it once to Ray DeVito, and I did it to that Aussie guy one time. And so I did it today. He had Tom Myers on, the great Baltimore comedian Tom Myers. And I didn't want to sully the waters. So I decided I'm not going to tell Tom Myers he's a cunt. But we all know Echo Pineapple. He is a cunt. So I felt like it was all right.
This sounds like a different language to me.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. Don't worry about it. So anyway, we had a great time. Tune in to the Hackmania recap. There's so many great things to talk about. I left. You'll love this, Easy. I left Sunday morning at 4:30 so that I could be home for 8:30 in the morning for Mother's Day.
Right.
That was the deal I made. That was the deal I made with my wife. I'll be back
was she
for
even
Mother's
home
Day.
when you land? I mean, was she up when you landed, or was she sleeping in?
She was doing Mandarin homework with the kids. True story.
Oh, she's teaching them Mandarin.
Well, they have a teacher and they had homework. And
now, does she speak it?
No.
Oh,
that's why she's making the kids learn it, because she wished that.
I see.
So, I don't know if Dame Taft. I'd be happy to share your picture, but I don't want to dox you. But I talked to Dame Taft for a while, and Easy, you're gonna love this. He gave me an amazing idea. We're not going to do it today, maybe not even next week. He said you should really do an episode where you're just like all the other shows and you completely ignore the poor chat. Maybe you'll get more super chats that way. And I said, that's not really who Easy and I are. But if I can put the full blame on Dame Taft, it's his fault. So not today. Keep sending in your poor chats. We love them. We'll read them. No problem. But in the near future, we're going to give you a heads up. There's going to be a show. We won't read a single poor chat. You have to give us money.
That'll break my heart.
I know.
There are some funny fuckers on here.
I bet there's something right now.
They're so goddamn mean. And I'm so proud of those people, you know?
Yeah, and Craig from Very Good Show, obviously friends with Blind Mike. No one speak ill of Tom Myers. Tom Myers was fantastic on with Hughesy. Become a member over there at Hughesy Entertainment, because I knew to grab those clips early, because Hughesy's one of many people. As soon as the show's over, he puts it on private and makes you have to pay for it. So the Johnny Walker, I will accept you saying Opie Radio has more active viewers. However, this is going to get you blocked. That Opie has better content. I mean, I know you don't mean that. I literally know you don't mean that. That's fine. And by the way, Cyberspace. Fuck, it's easy.
Cyber, you idiot. What the fuck?
Cyberspace Cosmonaut says we will not be silenced and we will not be ignored. Yeah, Dr. Scotty Jones said Adam made Tom look silly at times. I'm going to assume that will show up on WATP, and I'll tell people something else about WATP. All right, so I've been yapping for 10 minutes, and I was just so excited. It was such a great time.
No, I'm glad. I liked your little book report. I thought that was fun.
JFK
I
Head
liked
Chunk.
it.
JFK Head Chunk, I usually love you and what you say. JFK Head Chunk sends in, Opie has better hair. That, fuck you.
Fuck you.
I mean, you can say it to me, but better hair than Easy. By the way,
fuck
does
off
anybody
and die.
have better hair on this channel than the two of us? I don't think so.
Exactly. All these other idiots have horrible hair.
Yeah, look, I've got this little curl because it's playful. You don't know what I'm up to. All right. Well, we are gonna share some poor chats, but Easy, it's really about super chats. So please let everybody know how it works.
Well, we don't have a goal, but if we hit $20, we'd be pretty impressed with ourselves.
We sure would.
How it works is, if you want Christian to sign off with something hideous and terrible, make it good, make it spectacular, have him saying something that he probably shouldn't say about various people that are not round eyes, and have at it. And the one with the highest dollar amount to it is what will be read. So I suggest going big or going home, frankly.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with both of those things. And all right. Chad's missing upper lip. Producer Chris puts you pussies to shame. But look, he's actually over my shoulder right there. So right now, do a screenshot of this. This is the best hair on this channel you'll ever. Well, let me cover up Carl. This is the best hair that you'll ever get on this show.
And I can't agree with that. I would have to say that I have the best hair in this whole goddamn in the whole network, without a doubt.
Well, Pop Sculpture disagrees. Producer Chris has the best hair. We know that right up there next to Easy. I guess we'll have to ask Producer Chris.
Plus, he's not a veteran like I am.
Oh, that's right. Medal of Honor recipient. I don't even read that at this point. I forgot that it's there. All right. Well, I'm glad you appreciated my book report. I'm always happy to do it. Let's start off with some big national news.
WATP, who are these national news? Who are these national newscasters?
We don't use that one that much, and that one I actually think is loud enough. That one's actually perfect. They should all be at that exact volume.
Yeah. The way podcasting works is you'll have talking at one audio level, and then typically the trend is supposed to be about 37 dB higher.
Yeah, and then it gets much lower when the hosts talk, and even lower when you play the clips.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the sweet spot right there.
Yeah, we're not new to this game. So we have a new pope. An American pope from Chicago, which we'll talk about in a moment. But before the new pope was named, this clip made the rounds. CBS News talking about what was going on at the conclave, which I saw that movie, and I didn't realize it was as wild as all this. Listen to this description.
The one thing we know they're not doing is checking Instagram because their devices have all been confiscated.
I believe the kids call it raw dogging it if you're going to go through a long period of time with no electronic device.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, they're of a certain age, so they might be used to.
So apparently all the cardinals in their dresses, they were raw dogging it at the conclave. I didn't realize that there was so much raw dogging going on, but it's a Catholic church. So
I don't know they can't be happy with that terminology used, considering the fact that we have recent history of child rape. I know raw dog means more than one thing now, but it still could mean sex without a condom. So I don't know.
That's the only way I ever use it.
Right. That's it's got another meaning now, but the Catholic Church is like, no, ixnay on the raw doggy. Come on.
When I was a younger single man, I once had a lady friend who tapped me on the hand and said, "No, condoms are for F slurs," and she used the word. And I was like, all right, I guess we're raw dogging.
Wow.
And 4 shots of penicillin later, I still remember her. But,
okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's a very Catholic thing to raw dog.
Yes.
Honestly. Exactly. So it kind of works. Catholics aren't technically not supposed to use condoms. they're also not supposed to rape boys.
There's a lot of things that
and both of those happen. Some would say that there's more boy rape in the Catholic Church than there is actual people adhering to the no condom rule.
I feel like I'm on Hughesy's show somehow. I didn't quite realize we were going to go this deep in it, but I'm glad we did. And
deep? Did you say deep, like in a boy's ass?
Say like I even had to develop
that deep?
Yes, balls deep. All right. So we have an American Pope. He's from Chicago. And so quick with that realization, the Chicago Cubs said this was a post since deleted that says, congratulations to Pope Leo the 14th. And Izzy, you can see the marquee there in front of Wrigley Field, the friendly confines. Beautiful place to see a ballpark, as long as you don't skimp on the tickets and sit behind a pole. By that, I mean a Polish gentleman. Hey-o! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Fuck you.
I'm so sorry. Can you read the side, please?
Yeah, it says, hey, Chicago, he's a Cubs fan. But hold the phone on this.
Yeah, let's hold the phone on this. Let's see what his brother has to say about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was never, ever a Cubs fan, so I don't know where that came from. He was always a Sox fan.
Did he say Cox?
Our mother was a Cubs fan. I don't know, maybe that clued in there. And our dad.
No, just the Chicago Cubs are like the New York Yankees, and they assume that if you're from somewhere, you have to be a fan of that team. And not only is the Pope a fan of the Pale Hose, as they call them, the Chicago White Sox. Not only is he a fan of that team, but the MLB social media put out this clip from the 2005 World Series, seconds before the Chicago Cubs. Sorry, I did it. The Chicago White Sox won the World Series in 2005 against the Houston Astros.
They're 2 strikes away from a win here in 2005 in Game 1. With Jinx on the mound.
And they put a little arrow there. There's the Pope at the decisive game at the 2005 World Series. And I love that, obviously somebody clued them into it and they showed
Everett at the
how
plate.
happy he is. Yeah, so I'm excited for the Pope. And, I thought that I love a nice goof like that. The Cubs thinking like, well, he's a Cubs fan. And his brother's like immediately on WGN. No, he's not. He's not. He's a White Sox fan.
It's what's interesting about the election of a pope. Never before have more people been interested in something that they don't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
behind those closed doors. They might be naked chasing around a greased pig for all we know. All they're looking for is the stupid chimney and the smoke.
There were reports of raw dogging, so I think that's fairly accurate.
Exactly. I suspect it's whoever can have sex with the most little boys without jizzing is the one who becomes the Pope. I firmly believe that that's what's happening.
I think I just need to always record your audio on a separate track. And then because almost everything you say could be a drop that I could use in a later show. And I should really be doing that. But I'm too busy. There's too many things going on.
That's probably the nicest thing anyone said to me in a long, long time. And I appreciate that. That means I am achieving my goal of fewest amount of words to say the most horrific things possible.
Right, exactly. I think that that's absolutely fair. And speaking of the goal, guys, I don't want to have to institute the no poor chat rule today. But you got to throw us a couple bucks.
Yeah, what a bunch of shitheads.
Yeah, I shared that. I'll share that picture of Lucy Tightbox again.
Right.
If we get, $10 more bucks. All right.
Hamilton Berger, you can always count on him for the $2 Canadian. He's outstanding. Sometimes he'll even throw us one or two more. And then the guy who wanted to insult us, associate producer Ralph, that was outstanding. Oh, but that's also Canadian money.
Do you know associate producer Ralph?
What?
Do you know who he is?
No.
So he's on Tukey Soup. He's the associate producer of Tukey Soup. And if you listen to him, you'd be like, wow, associate producer Ralph sounds an awful lot like Cardiff Electric. And I don't want to dox anybody.
Oh, okay.
But he sounds very similar to him.
Yeah. Well, that happens. That happens.
That definitely happens. All right. So look.
Anyway,
right.
if you want more boy rape jokes, send some goddamn money.
I would love it if you just flip through a volume, one of those nice little notebooks, and it just says boy rape jokes on it. So look, more important than a new pope being named, more important than being an American pope, more important than the Chicago Cubs looking silly, is this trend that was covered by Inside Edition. We're still here in national news.
For this?
Hey, Kool Aid!
Oh, yeah! It's the classic TV commercial for Kool Aid, and now it's being copied in a destructive social media challenge. It's being called the Kool Aid Man Challenge. Ben Helwa lives on Staten Island, New York, and is the latest homeowner to have his property vandalized.
They run full speed into your fence. They take the whole fence down.
So I think for our audio audience, we have to make sure. I think that they can understand what that smashing sound is. Wow. So yeah, the Hey Kool Aid Man leads to the Kool Aid Man busting through the wall, and people are doing that to fences. And
that
we'll
is
see a little bit more of it. Yeah, and it looks very destructive. And as we find out, not easy to repair.
Apparently, this challenge went viral a few years ago, and I didn't really know that people were still actively doing it.
He didn't know what caused the damage until he screened surveillance video taken from across the street. It shows three youngsters running right through the fence.
You can see they're getting themselves ready, right? They're pumping
you
each
gotta,
other
you
up.
gotta
You can see the one kid actually runs ahead and gets his phone out. He's like, oh, I got to film this.
Yeah,
right?
and boom.
As you can see, they really did a number on his fence. The damage is extensive, and the whole thing might need to be replaced. But as for now, he's got plywood and duct tape keeping it together.
Boy. So he's saying the whole thing might need to be replaced. He's being nice. You have to rebuild the entire fence.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
These idiots running through the fence. Look, it didn't happen to my fence, so I love this. I love any of these viral challenges.
I am excited about the creativity of the youth. I encourage this type of behavior. If it happens to me, I shrug and go, well, that's, it could be worse. We used to get on people's lawns and then hit the gas as fat, and do these deep trenches in the front.
You do like donuts on somebody's lawn?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we were just as big of assholes. Okay. But this is much more entertaining,
Yeah. Because, back then they couldn't film it and share it with all their friends and laugh hysterically. Let's get a little bit more of this.
We found lots of examples of knucklehead teens charging full speed into fences. These youngsters ran into the fence in unison, resulting in thousands of dollars in damages.
But there's this one kid in the orange shirt who's left behind. He's the just do it who all of a sudden he's like, all right, I don't have it in me. He changed his mind. Also, there wasn't enough fence left for him.
I was just in shock because once again, these kids ran through the fence. They fled the scene. But are the kids even okay?
Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
This is hysterical. This is funny. The kids don't care if they're okay.
Right. And then this pussy wants to know if the ones who destroyed his fence are okay.
Yeah.
No, you don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. I hope this dead. I hope this never ends. I want more of this. I am going to have to scour TikTok for these, and hopefully we'll be sharing just as many as we share bear videos. And a lot of these viral challenges, they start to get taken down because they want to discourage people from doing them. So if anybody finds them, please post them in the Discord. You can join the Discord for free. Go to whoarethese.com for the link. And we have our own channel there. Who Are These Broadcasters has its own channel. So seeing that, of course, watching all the Kool Aid Man pranks, it could only make me think of one thing.
Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
And as he sheepishly backs out of the court.
Okay, can I ask everyone to please stop saying, oh, no, in this courtroom? Because the Kool-Aid guy is going to keep showing up.
That's from the first episode of Family Guy. So that's been in my head for...
Really? That's the way back.
Yeah. I believe it aired after the Super Bowl in 99. So in any case, so not only do I love the Kool Aid Man challenge, I love the fact that I'm able to share that clip. And if you're in the chat, somebody in the chat is going to pretend that they didn't think of that. But I think a lot of you who know Family Guy were well aware and reminded of that. All right, we got to keep it moving. This is a freight train that doesn't know how to slow down. Let's get some local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
Well, if you like the Kool Aid Man challenge, you're going to like the mayhem that ensues when a gentleman at a Dairy Queen in Ohio couldn't take their shit anymore. He was waiting for his order, and he wasn't going to wait anymore.
Dairy Queen employee in East Liverpool was assaulted by an angry customer, which prompted a police response and ultimately an arrest.
We can shout out the local reporter.
Oh yeah, she won't be there long.
No, she'll
She's
be
moving up the ladder.
She'll be covering the Kool Aid Man challenge for Inside
Right on.
very soon.
What a doll.
Okay, so let's see how this goes, and of course, there's video. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showing it.
It happened around 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, April 30th, at the Dairy Queen on West 8th Street. Employees say the suspect had waited a while for his food due to a shift change, but instead of calmly reminding staff, they said he became aggressive.
Would you describe the video that we just saw as being aggressive?
Yeah, that was something. He wanders back into the kitchen. My God!
So he wanders into the kitchen.
Yeah, and he goes after like a kid half his size, and then the kid, another kid. They're all kids, of course. It's an ice cream place, you know.
But then the one that he started with gets him in a headlock.
Yeah, he put him in a rear naked choke, and I don't know if it was completely executed, but he had that fucker down. That was fucking sweet, man.
Well, the individual in question, gender's really fluid these days. I believe this is a she, but I could be wrong. Is going to talk a little bit about the experience, and don't worry, we'll get to see the clip again.
And things are going to happen. It's just another day. It's a lot getting punched in the face anyway. I mean, as you can see, jaw is still really swollen.
Okay.
And it's starting to bruise a little bit. It'll be a big bruise.
Now, by the way, the only reason you show that on the local news is because somebody's told you make sure you file a lawsuit against
Right on. Wow.
Although if I'm this guy, I am suing the Dairy Queen Corporation.
I wonder if he's one of those guys that says equal rights, equal fights, and just, went about it that way or something. I have no idea.
I hope he is.
A coworker stepped in to stop the attack, striking Wicker. Warehan also attempted to take the attacker down.
I just didn't want anybody else to get hit. Or, we're in the kitchen. There's knives. There's hot grease. There's homeboy could have had a gun. I mean, we never know. I didn't want anything to escalate, so I was just like, "You're going to sleep."
Yeah. Well, I don't think she has, or she or he, or whatever this person goes by. I'm just assuming.
They attempted to do the sleeper hold, and it may or may not have worked easy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if the sleeper hold worked, but in the same time, that was great. We are seeing some aggressive young people, and that makes an old cock like me happy. We need aggressive young people to take care of us.
Yes, absolutely. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. And I think that's what we're seeing in the last few clips. I can't believe I'm going to show another LA high-speed chase, but this is the end of a chase. And the people responsible for starting the chase, so the pursued, they're really special, I guess is the best way to put it. They're next level. So let's take a look.
Car's going to roll away. 2 suspects running. The driver in that pink. There's a third one coming out of the back. We're going to stick with the driver right there, and he's going southbound away from the freeway into a neighborhood here and jumping a fence. They're all 3 going to stick together here, and we should be seeing the airship coming up overhead.
Actually,
let me come out to a wider shot. They're all in this backyard. This is going to be off of Woodhaven, and they're running still together in that backyard, maybe trying to get into the shed. One's going into the shed,
Okay.
and the second one's going into the shed. The driver there, he's going to go in the shed. all three in the shed here. So again, this is off of Woodhaven, just south of the 118 freeway.
Wow.
So they're using the old, if I close my eyes, they won't see me.
Right.
So they're all going to hide in the shed. Like, all right, we hear the helicopter. We know how this works, but we're going to just hide in this shed forever. We live
That
here
was
now.
awesome. No idea that they're being filmed, and it's, I don't know, maybe they know that they're being filmed. I have no idea, but that was outstanding. I was hoping for the next second of that, someone to run out and stick like a piece of wood in between the handles to lock them in there.
The only thing that would have been better for this show is if there had been a bear in that shed and he just mauled the shit out of them. But unfortunately, that is actually not what we got. But it's what I wanted, and I hope that our chat is appreciating all of those things that we're showing there. Let me know if they are.
I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if that's a typo or intended for another show.
I'm not sure what. Chad's missing upper lip. A great friend of the show, but I don't know what that means.
He says couple of. I don't want to say it because I'm afraid it's like a racist thing. Because
I saw the Minecraft movie with my kids. I know what the chicken jockey.
Oh,
is.
okay,
So,
all right.
yeah.
I guess that's a couple of
the little baby zombie riding a chicken. I don't quite know. What
Right.
Yeah.
He says usually a lot of things that I'm not smart enough to know if they're
me either. I'm not quite
vitriol filled with horrible
how he meant
hatred
it.
towards some of our black people that live in our country. But
and remember, he also doesn't like you. Yeah.
Well, he says that, but I mean, come on.
We know. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to our main event, and to do that, we're gonna head over to Who Are These Talk Shows?
WATB, who are these talk shows? Who are these talk shows?
Well, if you clicked on the video or you saw the title of the episode, you know that we're going to feature Kanye West on this episode. I guess these days he's probably better known as Nazi West. He insists on being called Ye, but he was in Spain, and Piers Morgan reached out to set up an interview with him. He sent a crew out to Spain, and he's there in London. And the day he sent the crew, Ye wasn't feeling it, so they didn't do the interview. This is the next day.
Okay.
Where apparently Ye's feeling it, at least in this moment. I'm going to mostly stay out of the way, but you can watch how this goes. So Piers finally gets the chance to talk to Kanye West.
You put out on X, you got 32 million followers. So you're one of the most followed people.
See, wait. Now look right now. You're not gonna take inches off my dick, bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
Well, how many is it?
I think you could do the study. You got a whole staff over there.
I thought it was 32 million. How many is it? You obviously know.
I mean, no. I mean, don't help them out. You know they.
I'm told it's 33 million now. So congratulations. You're slightly bigger following than I thought.
No.
There's definitely more to this. He's joined by an associate of his named Sneeko. And unfortunately, we're going to get a lot more Sneeko in a little bit, but that's who he's talking about. So he was trying to help move it along.
He was pointing up for Piers to go higher. It's actually more. I mean, that's a great reason to stop an interview. Okay. Bickering over the number of people following you on a social media platform. That's a terrific reason to stop everything in its tracks to have this whatever that's going on right here.
Do you think that at this point, Ye has overreacted to Piers being mistaken?
Yes, because he's talking. If Ye is talking, that means he's overreacting. He's a child.
All right, just wait.
No, congratulations. Your information is correct. You're not just some, dude trying to sub. I'm a gift, bro. You know what I mean? Why do all you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when you're
Easy. Have you ever been to an event where a Kanye West song played?
Well, yeah, many years ago. What was that one? It starts out, I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
Yeah.
But it used to be broke N-word.
It's funny because nowadays it's the first time that I go to events where people are playing Kanye music, but it's all the new stuff. That's the only time I'm anywhere where people play the stuff. But yeah, Gold Digger was a big
yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, and it's mostly because it might give the people in attendance the ability to use the word ninja in a way.
Yeah. That's a wedding song. So that's about as far. I mean, but I don't hang out with the blacks. I only hang out with white people. You know?
There's a reason you live in Michigan.
Right.
The child was born. You know, you take somebody that's living like a Lennon, a Michael Jackson, and you just take all this time to just like that nuance right there. It's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
What are you talking about?
I love that. He's like, with all due respect, what are you talking about?
He's indignant because that's the thing West does. His brain always goes, this is no different than when he did Hurricane Katrina. He'll start talking, but he won't ever finish. If you allow him to talk, he will just continue to go on and on and on.
You mean Mike Myers standing there as he says George Bush doesn't care about black people? He's like, what did Austin Powers do? What did Wayne Campbell do that he needed to get that? All right,
he's been like this his whole life.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll give you the Gold Digger song, but I've never gotten any of the appreciation or admiration for Kanye. It's not my style of music. That's probably why. But there's nothing that justifies even a small fraction of this behavior. But don't worry, he's going to continue to run with it.
I haven't said anything.
What are you talking about? It's 30. Okay, now you're not taking accountability or responsibility.
Literally, you said it. You implied I haven't played your music. Of course I played your music.
No, sir. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Okay.
And there he goes. Sneeko looks.
Where's he gone, Sneeko?
That's it for Ye. But it's nice to meet you, Piers.
Where's he gone?
I think he's just going back to work.
Okay.
Go back to work.
Going back to work. Yeah, exactly. So Piers makes the most of it and continues to talk to Sneeko. Right. And we get some decent stuff. I think the best thing that could have happened for this interview is Kanye walking off.
Who is this dime store Nacho Varga sitting next to him, by the way? Breaking Bad reference. Anyway, I don't even know what that guy does.
Yeah, he talks about it at one point. I'm not sure if it's in the clip or not. If it isn't, I'll explain. I think he talks about it here, but he's just an associate of Ye. But let's see.
Yeah, we called him Ye, and we got his.
Oh yeah, so he referred to him as Ye West in the beginning, and that's a sticking point. He's like, no, not the West anymore. He's like, my apologies, just Ye. So he corrected that in the beginning. It wasn't worth pulling, but that was like, all right. So Sneeko's like, well, you got the Twitter count wrong, and he likes to be called Ye, and he's like, well, I called him Ye.
Yeah, we called him Ye, and we got his Twitter following count wrong by 1 million. From 32 to 33 million. Also, for the record,
37.
you guys dicked us around yesterday, and you seem to find that very entertaining and amusing in your live stream, which I'm sure you will now. You kept all my crew in Spain and here waiting, and then wasted their time. And then you got us all back now, and you've wasted our time again. And you again may find that funny and entertaining, and that's fine. I don't. I think it's a total waste of everyone's time and effort and money.
Well, it is.
What's that about Piers?
That's Piers' fault, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're going to spend all this money to just have him walk off?
Nobody gives a fuck about Kanye anyway, or Ye anyway. No one cares. He's done so much crazy shit that nothing he does surprises anybody. It's not even funny anymore.
Well, I do agree with that.
Well, it is. I was ready for the interview yesterday, too. My time is important as well. Regardless if it was wasted. We have to admit this is somewhat entertaining. This is going to be laughed at by many people.
Yeah.
It's not what I expected,
what's entertaining?
That was funny.
Yeah,
that's undeniably walking off right into the beginning of an interview is funny.
Yeah.
I agree with Sneeko.
I do agree with Sneeko.
I like Sneeko. I'm going to try and figure out more about Sneeko, but I also like
Piers tactic of, they're on a delay. You can hear a little bit the earpiece. You can hear a little bit of the echo in it. But he spends plenty of time just kind of staring at him. So he does want to try and ask the questions he was going to ask Kanye. And Sneeko understands that this is his job and he's not going to try and speak for Kanye, but we'll get a little bit more of the conversation.
With the track Heil Hitler.
No, I don't. I'm not a music guy. And
that was the part I wanted to make sure I got. He's like, no, I'm not a music guy.
Hey, I couldn't possibly have an opinion about a song that my boss wrote called Heil Hitler. What the fuck? I don't know music.
and that's what Piers keeps trying to get out of him. He's like, do you have an opinion? He's like, no, I'm not going to speak for Kanye. He's like, yeah, speak for yourself.
If you wanted to get questions about his Twitter or X correct, then you should have got the number of followers correct. That was something intentional that you knew what you were doing.
So I got the size of his dick wrong.
Is
that what you say?
Well, if you know everything else that he's tweeting, you should have got that right as well.
Oh, don't be so pathetic, Sneeko.
I do love that. Don't be so pathetic, Sneeko. I would want that to be
the name.
These
two. These two he should have interviewed him. He should. All right.
He did. And
how the hell did you get involved with Ye?
Yeah, he wasn't very forthcoming, but I think that this clip was posted at 17 minutes. Ye speaks for maybe 3. And most of it is Sneeko, a little bit of his recap from when he talked to him a couple years ago.
Honestly, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get good content, which will promote you, Sneeko. And I'm just curious how you, Sneeko, deal with the fact that you are so openly associating yourself
asked that question
with somebody
times,
who seems to worship Adolf Hitler and is pro the Nazis. Do you feel comfortable about that?
No, we worship God.
No, he worships Adolf Hitler.
I'm here promoting this. We could talk about how pathetic
he worships Adolf Hitler.
That you were essentially working for Israel up until a couple months ago and promoting genocide and not pushing back.
When was I working for Israel?
If it's pathetic to make films behind the scenes of one of the greatest living artists, probably the greatest living artist.
Well, he certainly was.
You point the finger at you.
He certainly was he was a great artist. Unfortunately, he's become a rampant anti-Semite who.
Yeah, well, that's the gist of it. And that's where you find out that he makes films. That's basically, he's like a filmmaker. And I can't wait to see those movies.
Oh, my God. What a handful. I mean, everybody involved in this. Part of me is like, the only logical explanation about Ye is this is a long con.
Yeah.
A long, long con. And it might be one that only people he's associated with are aware of. And he might not even be aware of it. Like, he's so fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, they're like tapping into all the of his psychosis in order to create this ridiculous storyline of this man. Holy shit. It's very entertaining. There's no question. He has become more poignant, I guess, for lack of a better term, in what he's doing rather than the music he is making.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I agree. And, I am always happy to play Piers Morgan clips on this show because he seems to get some of the best people. Our friend Dame Taft. Who are these broadcasters? The show the media doesn't want you to see. That's right. We cannot be censored. Mandolin Nappy. Finally, another live show. Thanks, Christian and Easy. Carl and Vinny are pussies and didn't even upload the Vegas Creep Off Monday.
What?
Well, they talk about how there's at least a segment of that show that they can't post because it's the videos of those guys who set up would-be predators and try to make them think they're going to meet with a young child for
Catholics, Catholic priests.
You are on fire today, sir. So it's these guys who like beat up would-be predators. So I think that those videos are frowned upon by YouTube. So I think that what you're going to need to do, Mandolin Nappy, is what everybody should do and become a member of the Creep Off's premium service, their Patreon, their YouTube channel. I get it. But I saw the Creep Off in Vegas. It was fantastic. So I hope that you get to see it as well. But I appreciate the $4.99. Mandolin Nappy right now, you are the front runner. So the way it stands at this moment, I will have to say that again at the end of the program.
And you know what? We are, I just wanted to say that we are just, we're over halfway into the show virtually.
Yeah.
And we might hit an all-time low for super chats today.
I think so.
Yeah.
And most of the money we've gotten is Canadian, and that's not real money. I think even they would admit,
Exactly.
Cardiff was so happy to be in Vegas and having to pay with actual green dollar bills instead of that nonsense they have up there.
But beggars can't be choosers. If all we're going to get is loonies and whatever crazy shit.
Toonies. I'll take some toonies for sure. Yeah.
Well, fuck. I guess we're just going to have to say, go Terry Fox, go Wayne Gretzky, fucking Maurice Richard.
Look,
fuck yes.
I'll even pretend that I like the Tragically Hip. That is how much I'm willing to cater to our Canadian
terrible
audience.
band.
They're
Terrible
awful.
band.
One of the worst bands ever.
Everybody says that's a good band. It's like the Glee Club. It's awful.
They have Canadian content laws in that country so that we don't take over their culture, and also to prop up bands like the Tragically Hip.
There's a wing in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is in the United States, that is all like laughing at the death of Gord Downey. It's like various people talking about how shitty he was, to honor that. We're happy how dead he is. That's what they're doing.
Who are we speaking to in the audience at this point that we dropped the name of this singer of the Tragically Hip, who I do know that tragically passed away?
Magically. It should be Magically Dead, the name of the band.
So we'll move on. But look, anytime you want to super chat us anything about the Tragically Hip, we'll be happy to continue the conversation. So
anyone who likes Tragically Hip is actually worse than a member of the military.
Well, we support our men and women in uniform. I, of course, support all of our service members. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't support Tragically Hip fans, but I do support our military. By the way, I also support the Canadian military. All right, so I think
Canadian military way better than the United States.
This is what I'm talking about. If I just have the EZ track, I just look for the little wave file, like, oh, he talks again. This is a new drop. So on this show, we're always very quick to point out when we should be laughing at Jimmy Kimmel. Usually in the clip where we're laughing at him, he's crying. But here we're going to laugh with him because on his show, they put together just some amazing clips of Marjorie Taylor Greene chairing a committee hearing.
Displayed behind me is the post that Mr. Lefelt put up.
Okay, so there's a picture behind her from somebody that she subpoenaed to talk. And it says game day. And if you look at the picture, what would you assume this gentleman is doing, Easy?
Giving the middle finger, Christian.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And that's what MTG wants us to think it looks like.
Mr. Lefelt came in here today saying that this is game day.
One moment, a point of order, please,
you're
Madam Chair.
not.
Madam
Okay,
Chair, I have a point of order. The document that you have up behind you is a misrepresentation of the actual post. It appears that you're trying to misrepresent a witness here who.
So he's holding up 2 fingers. Yeah. He's holding up
they
2 fingers.
like photoshopped the index finger out to make it look like instead of you're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
But it looked like this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You use subpoena powers against.
This is not Miss Stansbury. Miss Stansbury, this is not a point of order.
The actual picture.
Miss Stansbury, you're not recognized. Miss Stansbury, you're not recognized. Miss Stansbury, you're not recognized.
One of those these days, that gavel's going to hit her in the head, and she'll be smarter for it. She will be better off.
You are not. This is not a point of order, Miss Stansbury. This is not a point of order.
What this committee does, you are misrepresenting the witnesses, you are misrepresenting policy, you are misrepresenting.
Miss Stansbury, you're not recognized. Did you feel you were in a safe environment?
Yeah, so explain that for our audio audience.
So you just see a close-up of Green, and then somebody has passed the picture down the line at the board table there, and is just reaching it into the shot to just continue to pour salt in this woman's twat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I thought that was great. So Marjorie Taylor Greene committee hearings. Look, I could have found the original clips and shown them, but I saw that version, and I feel like I need to be honest with our audience. So you know what?
That's funny.
Tip of the hat to Jimmy Kimmel for finding that. And by the way, JFK head chunk with $2. By the way, Those are $2 US.
How about
Here's
that?
$2 worth of freedom. USA.
America's coming back. America's coming back. If we finish this show with more Canadian cash than American, I think it's time for the show to retire.
There are some that would say that anyway. Hamilton Burger, $2 Canadian. The Hip are a decent band, but massively overrated. Not here in the U.S. because no one knows who they are. They are completely unrated in the U.S. I remember
no rating. Hot new band, the Young Gord Downey, the still alive Gord Downey band.
Yes, still alive. Well, sharing that clip means that it's probably the right time to head on over to politics.
Who are these politics?
You know, a lot of times I think people feel that our political coverage might be a little slanted. I just share the things that I think are funny. The last week, sometimes it's the things that are exasperating. But every once in a while, we get a gift that I think that the majority of the audience will be happy with. Our buddy Sleepy Joe Biden made a return to television, what we would consider a home game, in front of a friendly crowd on the set of The View. So before I look at any of this footage, I think, well, he's rested. He no longer has the pressure of the presidency weighing on him. I'm sure that he did a great job.
All the projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
How did he win an election?
Well, I think a lot of people in our chat would say he didn't. There's a lot of people now
as
who
we
heard
get
you say
further
that.
and further from that, I'm starting to think like them. I'm starting to think every time I hear this guy talk, I'm like, maybe I should have been roaming through the steps of the Capitol. Maybe I should have been one of those miserable fucks killing people on the steps of the Capitol and climbing all over the goddamn building.
I think that your take should be that those people are heroes, but the other people that you don't like are the ones that you disparage. But like the guy with the moose horns on. Well, it got to the point that it was probably scheduled, but I like to believe that maybe it wasn't. The next segment, Jill has to come out to help Joe.
Yeah,
nothing to sustain that. Number one. Number two, think of what we were left with. We were left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection.
Yeah, you were just talking about it.
Not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people dying. 1 million people dying.
Okay.
And we're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. And so we went to work.
Do you think it's the interest of time that he's not going into those issues?
What a style there. It's just, I'm always uncomfortable with him when he talks.
Yeah.
It just seems horrible to me.
It's very uneasy, but I'm sure Jill will come to the rescue.
And we got it done. And, one of the things that
and Alyssa, one of the things I think is that
ran out of gas.
The people who wrote those books were not.
It doesn't
in the White
matter.
House.
So there's these books coming out. My buddy Jake Tapper wrote one that's coming out about the cognitive decline of Biden that everyone.
Oh, she doesn't like that. They don't like that.
They don't like that because they weren't there in the White House. So if you're not in the room, you can't.
Is that the point of this appearance, to say that books are bad that are being written about former President Biden? Is that?
Well, I agree with the first part of your statement that books are bad in general. I find books to be bad.
So do I. I don't like books.
Yeah. This is
burned and banned.
Yeah. And there's some people who I think would agree with you. Kanye, I think, would agree with you that some books.
Who reads anyway? Reading. Yeah. Fuck you.
So a clip that's been making the rounds from Fox News, one of their contributors, Cameron Kinsey, was talking about that appearance that Joe Biden made on The View. And the audio is very poor because there is no official video of this making the rounds.
It's not about. Oh my goodness.
Well, that was her head.
Okay, so she falls down on the ground. We're not going to laugh at her on the ground. We are going to laugh at the way that this guy with the glasses handles it.
We're just going to get some help here for Cameron. Let me come back to Lydia while we get some help for Cameron here.
Come back to Lydia.
Lydia, the President, we're going to go to a break.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Who's
You
the
didn't
asshole that said keep it going?
Well, I don't think anybody said keep it going. I think everyone assumed that he would take a commercial break there.
He
And-
was about to go, well,
Yeah.
see what's up with that. Anyway, back to Lydia.
when the camera's off me, you can drag that corpse out of here. Good news, though. Cameron Kinsey did post on social media, so I feel like it's fine. She didn't actually die. She says, sorry for the scare last night. She wanted to thank the EMTs, and the support has meant the world. She's taking it slow, staying hydrated. So she collapsed.
Oh, she needed a drink of water. Yeah, that happens to everybody. You get a little thirsty and you're gone.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes. In all honesty, is just a little rest. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, did anybody in our chat have anything to say about former President Biden's appearance? I usually have so much to say about him, and I'm a little surprised. That I'm not saying
It was. I think they've kind of turned the page because you got the usual Joe plus live TV equals disaster. Why do they keep unfreezing him to do this?
Yeah.
I love principled uncertainty. The world learnt a lesson when a retarded man was openly at the controls for years. Oh, it's just a show.
Yeah, it's just a show. Yeah.
And then also on the port chat, they were worried about him being on a wheelchair in his. I think he means in a wheelchair in his second term. Says Chad's missing upper lip. And then a horrible comment also from Chad about the woman who was on the TV who fell. Ha ha, that's what she gets for not staying in the kitchen.
See,
okay. And
okay.
then this from which I think is this the second one from this person?
Yeah, this is a different one from Amanda Nappi. I was trying to encourage him to be able to see the video. But now that we're at $20, this is probably going to be my sign off in just a little bit. Amanda Nappi says, I'm a Patreon and YouTube member, but I want you to say this. Easy and I can't defend the laziness of Carl and Vinny and are very sorry to see that they are caught up in the pussification of our country's late middle-aged men. Look, if that's going to be the sign-off, I'm going to have to say it again. I didn't want to say that. Amanda Nappi made me say that.
Right. But we have to believe it, too. So we do believe that. And I don't think, are they talking about them being late middle-aged?
I mean,
or we are late, because I would just say I'm old middle-aged.
We're all fairly old. Carl and Vinny
Yeah.
are only a couple years younger than me. So, I mean, you're way older than all of us. I get that.
Yes,
but,
I'll be 60 before you know it, goddammit.
I mean, will you be 60 in time for Hackamania 3? Order your tickets now, promo code BEARS.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. All right, great. All right, so at least now we have a younger, fit, vibrant man who is the commander-in-chief. The current POTUS was earlier today. He was over there in Saudi Arabia, and I want to make sure that I share that with our audience here.
A lot of the
So there he
material about
is.
Saudi Arabia, and Mohammed bin Salman is saying we need a resolution on a Palestinian state, and I don't necessarily recall.
It actually
several
doesn't
years
matter
ago-
what these assholes are talking about. But he's fighting it.
He's a little pooped.
This is what the audience will look like during the WATB section of Hackamania 3. Pre-order now, promo code BEARS. But look, there's boring shit going on. He just traveled and he's getting a free plane while he's there. So obviously he needs to rest up. But boy, the Donald definitely looks
He just got a second win there. Did you notice that?
I think that was the clip repeating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there he is back to sleep.
Yeah, he's actually nodding. I mean, that's he's having a dream there.
Yeah.
I want to see one where he's actually You know how we've all had the dream that we're falling and you kind of flinch? We got to get a big flinch one. How great would that be?
Well, we
all have that in common. We all got to sleep sometime. We've had to sit through some boring shit.
One of my favorite Mike Francesa clips is when he fell asleep on the air and was just, caller was droning on, and he does wake up like that. He catches himself. So
I've fallen asleep on the air. I've had that happen to me.
On this show, I hope not.
No, not this show. It was back in the radio days. Some days we're like, because we had to get up at a really bad hour.
Yeah.
Really ridiculous.
Doing this show at 2 p.m. Eastern is perfect. 11 a.m. Pacific for me.
It saved my life, really.
So
not having to get up at 3 a.m.
Oh my God. Yeah. I got to a point where I refused to set my alarm before 4 o'clock. I'm like, I can't. That's inhumane. I can't do that. JFK head chunk. I fall asleep when Zane is on. Well, a lot of us do, but if he's isolated into drops, he's great. Here, this is before President Trump left. He's talking about a friend of his, and you let me know if you can figure out who this friend might be.
A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy.
Rough guy.
Very successful, very rich.
Very successful.
I wouldn't even know how we would do
He's
this.
the most
because he's
successful.
got comments. President, could I ask
talking
you a
about My
question?
Pillow guy?
I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
Okay.
So everyone assumes that he's talking about Elon Musk because he is a big fat guy.
He is?
Oh yeah.
He's not fat. What the fuck are you talking about?
Don't make me right now derail our show while I Google Elon Musk beach. Okay. Believe me.
I would say he's a little. I mean, he's in his 50s. He's a little chunky monkey, but I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Let us know in the chat if you think he's talking about someone else, and if you put a dollar amount to it, it's fine. If you say,
well, I don't know who he could be talking about, but I don't think he's talking about Musk.
All right,
maybe he is. Maybe if he is, it's hysterical. That would be
hysterical,
awesome.
Whoever it is, because he throws it. It's not working, and that is
working.
why we love him on this show.
No, we talked about this months ago, and it's worth repeating. We talked about how exciting of a time it will be for who are these broadcasters with him as being president. And look, we used to average like 65 people at any one point during a live show. And now we average upwards of 72 since Trump won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fucking scoreboard, guys. Fucking shit right.
If Kamala was president, we'd have like 4 people watching. So
without a doubt.
Thank you, President Trump. And thank you, OJ. By the way, we're not going to have any voicemails today because nobody sent us any. But in the Discord, username Dadgummit drew this sketch. And I have to say, he did a tremendous job on me. And it says WATB hot takes. And I'm saying Trump sucks. And you're saying agreed. But I love this sketch. So Dadgummit, thank you. You're welcome to do any artwork for this show anytime you want. But I wanted to include this. By the way, nothing about any of the Trump clips that we played today sucked. Okay. I'm just going to go on record and say that I loved the Trump clips that we played today. Right. And here's a creepy one from Fox News, and it caught my attention. Happy 18th birthday, Kai Trump. Happy birthday to Donald Trump's eldest granddaughter, Kai Trump. If you're highlighting the fact that it's her 18th birthday, it reminds me of how there used to be a countdown clock online to the Olsen twins' 18th birthday.
Right. It's soon 18. Everybody started fingering them.
So I think that basically what this is letting everybody out there know, thanks to Fox News, it's okay for gooning to photo of Kai Trump. You can fap away. Not last week, but now the fappier, the better. So fappy birthday to the 18-year-old Kai Trump.
Right. And now I'm not really into 18-year-olds. That's a little old for me, but I mean, I get it.
Yeah, well, sure. No, I know that's where you're at. All right, let's just zoom right over to sports.
Who are these sports? You know what I'm saying? Who are these sports? Let's see who's playing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what's the side-eye.
So this is a video we didn't get to last week. Obviously, the Detroit Pistons are no longer in the NBA playoffs, but you sent me this video of a female reporter who went to the Little Caesars Arena and wanted to demonstrate how the Pistons lost 2 consecutive games on blown calls. And I believe that she's probably right. Let's just say she's right about one of them. That's still unfair, but she's going to demonstrate for us. And I'm going to just present this without any further ado.
At Little Caesars Arena, because unfortunately I have to deliver the news that the Pistons have lost back-to-back home playoff games on missed calls. Let's break down how today's happened. We find ourselves with 7 seconds left in regulation, and Cade Cunningham, the all-star, the MVP, the leader of this team, finds himself right here in.
How would you describe what we're looking at right now? Our audio audience doesn't know what to say at this moment.
She's like, instead of mini me to Dr. Evil, she's like mini Dank. Okay? And she's in Detroit. So she is on the Dank DeMoss weight gain plan.
She is definitely, she has Dank's nutritionist.
Yes,
for sure.
except Dank wears less revealing clothing.
Yes.
This fucking piggy is... she's doing okay, like from the neck up. She's got it down. She's got the she's got knowledge and ability, but from the neck down, she looks like a fucking rotted pear.
Yeah, I think.
Legs.
I think you've done a pretty good job in summarizing everything that we've just seen there.
Time for Timer is saying her body is fucked up. You know, the hunka cheese guy on Saturday morning cartoons. That's how bad she is.
That's the hunka cheddar cheese names guy.
Yes, that's Time for Timer. That's
time
her.
for Timer. Okay, let's let her show off her moves.
What he says is one of his spots, about 14.5 feet from the net.
Ugh.
He pulls off a pull-up that he says is muscle memory. He's shocked it missed. JB Bickerstaff is shocked it missed. His teammates are shocked it missed. But there's no time for that because a scrum ensues under the net and the ball rolls this way where the Michigan man, Tim Hardaway Jr., finds himself in the corner ready to pull off a 3, a spot that he was so hot at in Game 3. But unfortunately, as soon as he jumps up, I can't hit that vertical to get that tall.
Oh, wait, you can't hit that vertical? By the way, like just 2 more inches of fabric, we wouldn't even be looking at this.
Who is the sick fuck at the TV station that encouraged this fucking wildebeest to A, wear this, B, zoom out for this horrible shot?
Josh Hart is bodying over him in what is post-game deemed illegal contact. Only crew chief Dave Guthrie admitted that after a post-game replay review. In-game, the foul is not called, not allowing Tim Hardaway for his opportunity to get 3 free throws off to win the game.
There's only 3 options here after the ridicule occurs.
Yes.
Either unaliving.
Yes. Go to Greenland, as we like to say. Go to Greenland. Yes.
Go to Greenland, dramatic weight loss, or quit. Yeah. One of those 3 things is the only acceptable option.
Well, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but this does remind me of one of my favorite songs.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the key to spill, it's always flipping. From April's scrimp to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down loud. Every week.
Yes, just made me think of my favorite song, This Little Piggy. And I don't know why, I just wanted to play that.
I don't know who's responsible for that, but seriously, holy fuck, you need to be paid top dollar. That was outstanding.
The best song in the Dabbleverse, and a show that when they next convene, presumably on Friday, they might have a few things to talk about. We're going to Amanda Lynn-Nappy, that gunt is barely covered. I hope you're talking about the lady and not
her
me.
Gunt? That's an outstanding bit of terminology.
Yeah. I love that
I
terminology.
haven't heard that one. The gunt? Yeah. Look at that gunt. It's an excellent word.
So I've got 2 more NBA clips before we close the door on sports. Even though I'm from New York, I'm not going to come on here and pretend that I give a shit about the Knicks. But what I do give a shit about is funny videos. Like last week, after the Knicks rolled into Boston and shocked the world by beating the Celtics in 2 away games. This is the live post-game show for the Celtics television.
Everybody kept fighting. Everybody kept fighting on that team. Where we looked like we were like treading in mud. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so we also built this.
So it's not even, I don't care that they're saying, let's go Knicks. It's that they're getting these expletives on the air.
It's got to be the first time ever. 2 home games. Dick Life, look this up. 2 home games where you have 2 20-point leads.
So these guys don't have headphones on. They can hear it, but they're just like, I guess all we got to do is move on.
I'm surprised they're even able to focus and have conversations. Is that Lawrence Fishburne in the middle? That's what he looks like to me.
Yes, I think it is. And so one other moment from this same game, a lot of people have probably seen this, but there is an employee there at the Boston Garden. I don't know if it's still the TD Bank Garden, whatever it's called.
I think it is. I think it is.
The Boston Garden. There's an employee
TD Bank Court or whatever.
Yeah. There's an employee who's had enough of these motherfucking Knicks fans and their motherfucking bullshit.
Oh.
And then she falls over.
No. So frustrated.
The Knicks fans won't leave.
Well, this is great.
The only thing I wish is that if she fell over the chairs at the end, because there's still so much more to focus on. She's talking to the security guard.
Look at that guy. He's like, fuck this shit. He's stoned. Look at that's the security.
When they're chanting Knicks in 4, which didn't happen, but the composition of the series is that it could be Knicks in 5.
That is outstanding. I like how all they're doing is having fun. You know, they're just standing there making noise because they beat the shit out of the Celtics.
They're not throwing popcorn like when the chicken jockey comes on the screen. You know, they're just having fun. They're chanting, and that's fun to do in a visiting venue. And yeah, it's probably better to not go out on the streets right after the game anyway. You know, give yourselves a little breather and take some time.
I watched the Knicks beat the Pistons, and that's the first basketball I've watched in years. So I was introduced to some dick named Jalen Brunson.
Yes, Jalen Brunson
is that motherfucker good.
Yeah, he's a
fucking dick.
He's a very good dick. There. Now you want to talk about a drop of me that you?
That's a good dick right there. That's right.
Right.
That's what Christian said.
Well, it was just Mother's Day, so we need to get to our great moment in broadcast history.
BTB, who are these broadcast history? Who are these broadcast history?
Now, I've made sure that this piece of music isn't copywritten, but I do have for all of us, some of you may have seen this over the years. This is the greatest Mother's Day song that has ever been recorded and performed semi-live.
Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her, my mother, so treat her right, treat her right. M is for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that she felt when I was born. O is for the oven with its burning heat, where she stood making sure I had something to eat. T is for the time that she stayed up nights and took my temperature when I wasn't feeling
I'm going to turn it down a little bit. He is going to spell out the whole word mother.
Yes, he is. I love the 9 to 5 singers in the background.
Well, good, because they're going to be highlighted. And this comes from an Instagram account that I love the name of. Kids Are the Worst. So thanks to Kids Are the Worst for giving us this. But I want to make sure the backup singers get their moment in the sun because it was Mother's Day. Oh, yeah. And then we have some little video vignettes of mothers.
That's mom going to work.
Yep. Yep.
Here's the kid taking care of mom.
Okay, let me help you with those. Point the haircut on mom.
There we go. Right.
So,
outstanding.
I mean, anytime I can feature Mr. T. And you want the worst celebrity flex that anyone could ever give you? I have Mr. T's cell phone number in my phone. Yep. Jealous?
Wow.
I sure do.
Wow. You remember the fact that when he was ill,
Yeah.
he had, I'm not kidding you, T-cell lymphoma.
Yeah.
Mr. T had T-cell lymphoma. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And he beat it. He beat him. He beat his own cancer. It was named after him.
As I mentioned, there will be a special emergency episode at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel. Carl and a bunch of us who were at Hackamania will be reminiscing on the good times, but also Aaron Imholt did indeed respond to the revelations that came out. And I do mean came out as a pun, that came out at Hackamania.
This has been like a very jizzy type of discussion, hasn't it?
It is an incredibly jizzy conversation. Okay. Yes, that's why Cardiff was listening with bated breath. Also, I want to announce something for Wednesday's WATP because I do want to give everybody their favorite part of the show.
The teaser.
Now, you'll see me on that show, not necessarily live, but I did record something yesterday that I'm going to be sending to Carl.
The other person I wanted to meet was Stuttering John.
Okay. Now, the first question about that, were you a big Stern fan? Obviously, you grew up in New York. I grew up in New York.
Anything I've
so
got
long before the rest of the country started to get turned
I'm answering
on to this
you.
guy, we all knew who he was, going back to when he was on afternoons on WNBC.
WNBC.
Yes. So I did indeed record an interview yesterday with Nick Greystone of the Primal Scream podcast. I had a great time talking to him for about 90 minutes. The last half hour, we talked about his experience meeting up with Stuttering John at ChillerCon, giving him a ride back to Long Island, having him do his podcast. Yeah. I think that everybody's going to get all the answers that they're going to want. He also explains why he wouldn't talk to Shuli. And it's not the reason why a lot of people in our chat wouldn't want to talk to Shuli.
I loved that guy in The Empire Strikes Back, too. He was awesome.
He was. This is the Return of the Jedi. Come on. If you're
or whatever.
If you're gonna be a nerd, make sure that you're a nerd. So yes, the full episode of that will be available Thursday as part of my personal podcast, the Blattcast, BLADTCAST. You can subscribe to that show and you'll get the video and audio version of me talking to Nick Greystone. Great guy. I would love to talk to him again after the clips make the rounds on here. Maybe he won't want to, but I would be happy to appear on his show because he extended it.
Well, he's going to have to lose some goddamn weight because
I don't
he's probably going to be dead. So
no, I think he looks great. I don't know that's Eric Zane. So don't do the Insane Asylum. Okay.
For fuck's sake, get it together. God damn it.
Yes. EZ, where can people find you?
If you so choose, Monday through Friday, I do a podcast on Twitch. Find me twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live or just download the Twitch app at Eric Zane Live. Audio everywhere under Eric Zane Show Podcast. And I have a Patreon. It's better than everybody else's.
Yeah, I would say your Patreon is better than everyone else's except Who Are These Podcasts, where you can go to whoarethees.com to join the page. It's definitely better than Cardiff Electric's. I think everybody will agree with that. By the way, if you are a member of Cardiff Electric's $100 tier on Patreon, you'll have access to the cringy song that he released on It was Tukey Soup. I was going to say Bedabbling Live. It's a song that he recorded in 15, and it's called She's So Damn Sexy. And it's one of the greatest. Oh, it's amazing.
How do you have time to follow all of this?
So I sat at a table in Las Vegas for like 9 hours. So that's how I saw all this.
You're a writer, you're a dad, you're a lover, you're a podcaster. How the
lover
fuck do you have time to
I'm a bit more of a hate fucker than a lover. But yeah, there's a distinction.
Did your wife really write Mad Men?
She wrote an episode. Yes, she did work on the show. She wrote one episode. She wrote multiple episodes of Orange is the New Black. I forgot that Husey
know that.
Yeah.
Your wife was in show business.
My wife's in show business. That's why I'm doing all this nonsense, because my wife is the successful one.
Is she working right now, or is it all dried up?
It's largely dried up, and by that, of course, you mean the industry, not my wife. My wife is 7 years younger than me, so we don't have to worry about that.
Way to go, Belichick! Outstanding.
Right. Yeah. If you ever ask my wife how we met, she'll say we're not talking about that. Anyway, this was a fun one. Thanks to everybody. Make sure you tune into the emergency broadcast right there at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific. At some point, I'll jump on. But for right now, this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic. And I'm a Patreon and YouTube member, but I want you to say this. EZ and I can't defend the laziness of Carl and Vinny, and are sorry to see they are caught up in the pussification of our country's late middle-aged men. See you next Tuesday.